Hello everyone and welcome to my latest review of FTWD.
Foolish twats with dandruff?
What? No.
Fat tigers with diabetes?
Scott, what the hell are you talking about?
Friend, the writing's disastrous.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that one. The writing is bad, but no, FTWD is Fear the Walking Dead. That's what I'm reviewing. You should kind of know what it stands for. But anyway, Fear the Walking Dead, Season 5, Episode 4. Spoilers as usual. Let's review this. Yay. Oh boy, this might just be the worst episode of Fear the Walking Dead so far this season, and that's mostly down to how it completely ruins the character of Daniel Salazar. Things didn't start off too badly though. I mean, I didn't actually mind the first 10 minutes or so when Daniel was just roaming around with his cat Skidmark, and that's basically because with him being with his cat, he didn't have to talk to the other idiots on the show. Unfortunately though, as the episode progresses, it becomes clear that even Daniel, a character who I loved in past seasons, suffers from Fear's terrible writing. So much so that come the end of the episode, I kind of wished he'd never returned at all. We meet Daniel at the start of the episode living a rather comfortable, albeit arguably quite boring life in his junkyard or wherever it is that he's actually living. It seems he's become a bit of a hoarder since the dam explosion. He's got enough guns to supply an army and tons of vehicles and a plane, which just so happens to be what our group needs, which is extremely convenient. I felt like something's been off with Daniel since his reintroduction this season, as to me he just hasn't felt like, well, himself. For example, we see that in this episode that Daniel has been spending a lot of his time disarming all the traps in the area. Now honestly, I don't know why he would waste his time disarming every single one. I mean, he's got enough supplies as it is. If, for example, he needed more supplies and there was a trap in a store and he needed to get the items inside, then yeah, I can understand taking out that trap because, you know, didn't want to kill himself. But why does he feel the need to disarm every single one? Why is that his goal? It just seems a bit... yeah, I don't understand. I think the only reason that he's doing it is because sadly Daniel is another character who's been infected with what I like to call Morgan syndrome. Like all the other protagonists left on Fear, Daniel has now been overcome by this desire to save and change the world. Oh look, I better disarm this trap in case some poor soul wanders into it. Look at me, I'm making a difference, I'm saving the world. Oh, piss off with this shit, seriously. Now I'm not saying that there isn't some caring characteristics to Daniel, because long-time viewers will know how much he cared for his family and how much he also cared for the Clarks. But, you know, Daniel's a clever man. Surely he has more important things to do than trying to reenact the Hurt Locker in a post-apocalyptic environment. Since Season 4, the writers have been shoving down this let's help everybody bollocks down our throats constantly. And like a pig who's just rolled in the mud, Daniel is now caked in that shit. I mean, at one point, Daniel even pretends to be Rick Grimes from Season 6 as he tries to lead a herd of walkers away whilst in a vehicle. Now, you all know that I think that Rick's decision to lead all the walkers away from Alexandria was incredibly stupid, but at least Rick did it for the right reasons, whereas Daniel was just leading these walkers away because there's a chance they might hurt someone else. Oh, for Christ's sake. Again, like I've said in past reviews, maybe this is just me, maybe I'm just selfish, which is why I don't get it, but here Daniel is leading a herd of walkers away because there's an off chance that they might hurt someone else. What? Daniel, mate, that's what walkers do. They hurt people. Walkers will hurt people. That's a given. You know, walkers might hurt someone. Does that mean that you have to lead every walker away and kill every walker you see just to save someone you might not know who might get bitten in 2 years from that walker, for example? I don't know, but why? It's a stupid reason. It's a really dumb reason. Oh, what if someone I've never even met gets bit by this walker? Oh, I better lead him away. Like, oh, ah. So anyway, Daniel starts off with this idea of leading the walkers to his camp because he has walls and he can sort of take them out one by one. But then he finds out that Sarah crushed his fence, so he decides not to lead them back to the camp, instead thinking that the most logical thing to do is to then hand over the car to a young pre-teen, I don't know how old Charlie is, who can somehow drive, and then go walk on foot with the herd of walkers behind him. And he also then hands over the camp to Strand's group. Oh wait, so let me get this straight. So Charlie sneaks into Daniel's camp and then they break down his wall and Strand steals his plane that he specifically said he didn't want Strand to have, and Daniel's reaction to this is, yeah, have the camp. That's just ridiculous, you know? Oh, thanks for intruding and wrecking my home. Here, why don't you have the keys as well? Yeah, thanks, bye. For the record, I get that Charlie is hesitant to lead this group of walkers back to his camp now that he knows that the fence is broke in case they all get in, which, okay, that does make sense. But let's not forget there's Wendell, Sarah, and Strand at the camp with a ton of weapons, so why not just take them back, arm up, and then take them down with ease? It's not like there's a huge number of walkers anyway, and you know they're gonna be quite far behind the car if he was still in the car with Charlie, so they should have just driven back, maybe even put the car across the gap where the fence was broken because it didn't look like a big gap, and then just shot them all. But no, instead he decides to run around holding a sort of cassette tape CD player thing for some reason. Calm, Josh. Calm. Daniel, what have they done to you? Daniel isn't a character anymore. Instead, he's just a plot device, a means to an ends for the other characters. The only reason he's returned this season is just so the other characters can get the weapons and the plane they need, and that's about it, really. It feels to me like coming into this season, the writers had a bit of a panic about how much people love Daniel and felt the need to shoehorn him into the show, and now he's come back and they've just sort of put him back in the show without respecting his character at all. And I'm sure the actor who plays him will probably want out of this shit show soon enough, so I don't expect him to be around for that much longer. Aside from Daniel, the rest of the episode was also a bloody mess. I mean, Charlie is now a stealth expert akin to Sam Fisher or Solid Snake, as we see her giving Daniel, the CIA-trained military killer, advice on how to sneak into a house. Okay. Wendell and Sarah, who admittedly I didn't really care for last season, have now been reduced to bystanders, which makes me question why they were even introduced to the show in the first place, considering how big the cast is at the moment. I will admit though that the episode did get one laugh out of me when Wendell said to Sarah, something along the lines of, is Daniel going to shoot Vic in the face or is he going to shoot us as well? Another line that made me laugh that I don't think was supposed to was when Strand found the plane which looked like a derelict piece of crap and then said, "Yeah, that'll fly." Yeah, I mean it might fly, mate, but you'll probably end up like Emiliano Sala if you get in it. I also laughed at this scene at the end of the episode.
What the hell is that?
It's a helicopter, Alicia.
What the hell is that?
Come on, Alicia, you know what a helicopter is. Also, what is with the awful, cheesy Avengers-like music when Morgan and Alicia turn up to save the kids at the end of the episode? Absolutely dreadful. I mean, the ending of the episode was the best part for me, not just because the episode ended, but because the helicopter appearing does throw up some questions that, admittedly, will probably keep me watching the show despite how shit it is. However, I am feeling a bit annoyed because this mystery has gone on for way too long. I mean, I think we saw the helicopter in The Walking Dead in Season 7 when Rick was at the junkyard, and now 2-3 years later they're still teasing this group, and ultimately, you know, it's going to be like a Lost situation where you've got this sort of scenario, this big mystery, and when it's revealed it's just going to be disappointing. I mean, maybe I'm just being a pessimist, but I think all this build up about the helicopter and who these people would be, I think when it gets revealed, if it gets revealed in this show or the Rick Grimes movies, I think we're all just going to sit there after years of waiting and just go, great. Was that it? Also, one last thing before I go. Does anyone actually know where our characters are in the world at the moment? Because they're so obsessed with getting a plane, but unless they're on an island, why do they need a plane? Why can't they just drive from wherever they are? I mean, what's going on? Are we in Hawaii? Why do we need a plane? It's just awful, really, and from looking at the sort of teaser for next week, it looks like next week's episode is going to be all about Al, a character who I've never cared for. Can't wait for that. So that's about it, yeah. You know, there's not really much that I can say positive, or there's not anything I can say positive about this episode. I couldn't stand it. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know if you think I'm just being a miserable bastard, or let me know if, you know, you did actually agree with me, or, yeah, just let me know your thoughts. As always, apologies it's a day late, and apologies for being hot. It is boiling over here in the UK at the moment, so apologies for that. Maybe I need to get, like, a fan or something for when I'm recording. But anyway, yeah, thank you very much, and until next time, take care and goodbye.